Yo.
All right, D'Angelo, JJ had mentioned that he probably spoke to you the most of the returning players over the offseason, and just wondered what stood out the most to you in those conversations as you think about heading into this year for the Lakers.
I mean, we had a great conversation leading up to through the free agency. Just tried to get his information, reach out to him, and create some type of rapport and communication, especially if I was returning back. And we just kind of hit it off. I've never really connected with him like that. Very, high IQ guy, basketball-wise, and just personally. I think I gravitated towards that right away.
D'Lo, you mentioned it. The if I would be back, you've dealt with that basically since you got here.
Yeah.
How comfortable with it are you? Does it change anything about the way you approach this season?
Yeah. I mean, I think definitely just kind of got used to it. Hopefully, y'all kind of know what y'all gonna get from me. This is definitely a new feel, new everything going on with the structure, and with JJ kind of coming around and implementing what he's trying to do to kind of change the rim of things around here. So my approach is just stay steady, I guess.
This roster is virtually identical to the one it was last year. Does that help you know the ways that you guys need to be different for the end result to be different? And
Sure.
I guess what ways do you think that is? Or what are the things that you think need to change?
I definitely think, since I've been back, we've done an unbelievable job, just kind of putting things together and just kind of winging it a little bit. I think throughout that winging it, we kind of knew where our flaws were. Obviously, rebounding and things like that can lose games, but I think it starts now in the summer with the structure that you try to implement. I think, figuring out our last 2 minutes of the game, how we're going to finish games, the sooner we can figure that out throughout the season, I think the better. And that comes with, experience. So I'm looking forward to just having this experience going into the season with some of these familiar faces. Some of our guys weren't healthy last year, are healthy. So I like our group.
D'Lo, in talking with JJ, he's mentioned various things in terms of roles for players this season. With AD, he mentioned being more of a hub. LeBron maybe playing more off ball. In your conversations with him, what's been brought up as an emphasis for how your role will look, maybe compared to last season or last couple of seasons?
I feel like he's probably kind of harped on, I would say my energy is kind of contagious. So just being a positive guy, high confident guy, IQ guy. I think, I'm vocal. So me being vocal in the short time that I've been here this summer, I think he kind of recognized it, and he's harped on it a little more than normal. Just keep that going, continue that. We love to see that. We notice it. So, like I said, his kind words mean a lot to me because I'm not used to hearing those. So it's good.
Just got it. Before I ask my other question, I got to follow up on that. Kind words, you're not used to hearing them. Can you elaborate a little more?
I mean, I think you can.
I know I can, but I'd like you to.
I mean, I just obviously Laker Nation loves me, so they talk good about me when they can.
Yeah, I can leave it there. You mentioned that in a world where increasingly, frankly, players are almost talked about only as contracts, like he's a movable piece, like that kind of thing. It's easy to say, I just got to stay steady. You've actually managed to do it in the face of a lot of that talk over the years. I think there's a lot of guys around the league in your position. How do you actually do it? What advice could you give to guys who are in that position? Because stay steady it's something to say, but to pull it off is a whole other thing.
I mean, that's a good question. I think just kind of trusting my craft, knowing that I'm a problem for the opposing team. If we're winning or if we're losing, teams know what I'm capable of. So I just keep that in the back of my mind, knowing that I'm dangerous, and keeping my confidence high throughout the ups and downs of the season. So, and then throughout adversity, you get to really see the character of people. And I always try to hold my head high through adversity, and always come out with confidence. I'm not going to lose that. So I think that's a way to kind of get through your adversity, just always having that confidence. And the people around me, I think my people around me are brutally honest. So before I leave the house, I hear what's trending about me. So my folks will say it before it's kind of trending. So I think it's a positive for me.
Hey, D'Angelo. JJ mentioned the other day that he wants to see you have a career year. You're obviously coming off a really good year. So what does that look like, having a career year? Is it more the same, or is there other parts of your game that you want to kind of showcase?
I think for me, honestly, I think I really wanted to apologize in a sense of showing the lack of professionalism at times, showing the lack of team first, perception at times. So for me, I think just kind of keeping that maturity and that professionalism throughout the year, no matter the ups and the downs. Hold myself more accountable on the defensive end. Obviously, I know I'm capable, but when you get subbed out of a game for offensive, defensive possession, obviously that shows where your trust is in your coach and your ability. So for me, just trying to gain that trust for coach defensively, and consistently, I'm gonna show up every day. Practice, game, preseason, whatever, knowing that coach has that trust in me as well. And I think it'll just continue to a successful season.
D'Angelo, you mentioned talking to JJ, the IQ and the ways that you guys are able to talk about basketball. There a point the last 2 seasons where LeBron and Austin and AD and Rui, that you kind of figured out where guys should be offensively. How do you think JJ can kind of supplement that, and what do you think you guys can keep bringing out of that part of your basketball?
I think as the head coach, you have your own way of doing things. You have your own voice. You have your own vision of the way you see things. And obviously as players, you have it too. So as a head coach, finding that balance with the players, I think is key. And then when one of your players is one of the greatest of all times, you really got to take that in consideration on what you do and your preparation. And I think JJ is the perfect guy for that because of, like I said, his IQ and his abilities too.
D'Lo, you were all over the place this summer, played a lot of golf. I saw, did a lot of stuff back home in your community, traveled overseas. But I'm curious, what was it like watching LeBron and AD with Team USA? And did the way they impacted that team's ability to win a championship, did that change at all your thoughts about this team's ceiling and what a team can do with those 2 players on it?
I saw a few things. I thought it was really cool to watch them play at that level. The camaraderie that they had was a beautiful thing to see as well. And you get to see like what style of play complements those guys too. And me, I kind of had an idea. Throughout the time I've been here, I've learned how to play with those guys and around those guys and without those guys. So I think just seeing a lot of the stars in our league get around those guys and how they carry themselves on and off the floor, I just picked up a few things as well. So it was real cool to see them win as well.
D'Angelo, you've just now talked about holding yourself a little bit more accountable defensively. You've also been candid about how, compared to other players around the league, you have certain athletic or physical limitations that can get in the way with defense. Where specifically are the areas where you feel like I can do more, that the limitations don't matter?
Just focus. I mentioned being dangerous on the offensive end kind of carries over to the defensive end, and I may have a miss box out, miss backdoor opportunity, miss laps like that, which could cause a game. And when you watch film, you see me having those plays a little more than often. So trying to limit those plays for me. So like I said, I can earn that trust to stay on the floor at the end of the games. Cool. Yep.